seems legit.
Good morning, my legitimates, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are making this very adorable pouch by KM Designs. It is all vinyl except for the lining, so you just need one little square of lining. I'm using one zip, 1/2 inch swivel clip, and some zipper tape, and that's all you need in place of hardware. And I made this whole thing out of scraps out of my scrap box. So it's obviously bikini top on the front and bikini butt on the back. It comes with two styles of butts. You can have this one, or you can do like a G-string bikini as well. It's a really cute little pouch. It'd be great for putting your feminine hygiene products into your packing. You could probably just keep your bikinis in here if you go on holiday, so your bikinis just live in here. It is waterproof, so when you take them off, you can pop them in the waterproof pouch. It's just really fun. It's a super quick pattern, so if you'd like to see how it's made, please stay tuned. Alright everybody, so I have got in my Lord of the Rings bowl my hardware. So you need a zipper. I'm going to be using a 5/8 of an inch or 15 mil D-ring. And then I'm going to be using this 1/2 inch swivel clip because it just needs to have a little one. And I've also got a pack of rivets on standby. And I'm using a white rainbow zipper tape because I thought that'd be fun. And then these are all the pieces. So the pattern comes with little things that you can kind of clip on. So that's obviously the body. So I'm going to take one of the bodies and I'm going to take the bikini top. Now because it's rainbow, I'm going to use rainbow thread because I thought that would be nice. So I'm just going to flip it over and grab some double-sided tape from my cart, which realistically I should move over a little bit more. And I'm just going to put it right along that center as a big line. Now, depending on how movable your vinyl is, you may want to put a second line like this. So I'm going to do it just because I have no idea what'll happen. And then this should hold it on everywhere. So I've got 3 bits of double-sided tape. I do go through a lot of double-sided tape with bag making. So try and buy in bulk or large rolls. I buy 50-meter rolls. I could happily buy bigger if they came bigger, to be honest. Alright, so now I'm just going to line this up along the bottom. And it should all line up like that. And then I'm just going to pat it down, or you can smooth it down. And I'm going to stitch the top line. So I'm on a size 3 3/4 stitch length, and I'm going to go in, make a hole, and then I'm going to go back through that first hole to lock it all in, and then I'm going to stitch 1/8 of an inch along that top edge. Now again, I've done rainbow thread because it's a rainbow fabric or vinyl. This is one of those spotlight ones that you can get in a little roll. This was just the last leftover bit that I had of it after making a wench wallet. So we've turned it into this because it's fabulous. Then when we get to the end, we're going to go back, forward, and lift out. And that's locked in those stitches as well. And my double-sided tape is now holding that together. So now we're going to take our other main body piece. And I'm going to take the bikini back. Now I did the wide one, but there's also a G-string bikini option. So again, we're going to flip this over. I'm going to put a piece all the way along the top there. And then I'm going to just put one kind of on a random diagonal there. That should be enough. But otherwise you could have done like one there and one there on a more extreme angle. Throw all of the double-sided tape ends in a bin. If you don't have room for a bin, you can do those ones that kind of hang off the side, or have it so it clips underneath your table, because it's always handy to have a clear space. So I'm going to line that up there, I think. Like that. And now I'm going to stitch this one down. So I'm going to start at the top. This is overhanging a little bit, but that's all right, I can deal with that. So we're going to stitch straight across here and then back stitch when we get to the end. And then I'm just going to pull it out and come to here and just continue on. I don't need to cut off that string yet. I can do it in a minute. And needle down, pivot, go across the bottom like that, and then up the other side. And then get to the end and do some back stitches. So now I'm going to grab some scissors. I'm going to flip it over and just square up those edges like that. And I also trimmed off the tails at the same time. So now we've got bikini top and bottom, or back and front, whichever way you want to look at that. So we need some zipper tape. Now obviously this is just like a piece that I had, so I haven't cut it down yet. You do not need this much zipper. I will need them though. We've also got our zipper tabs, our strap connector, and our wristlet strap. So we could probably do the wristlet strap now actually before we do zippers. That'll be fun. And because I like to do the long lines first so that I don't run out of any kind of thread. So I'm going to put double-sided tape down the center, like so. And then peel off that backing. And I'm just going to fold it in half, I think. I think that's going to be the easiest way for me. Now you could fold both sides into the center, but because it's so short, half's going to work. It means I'll have one exposed edge, but that's okay. So I'm just going to move along and fold it in half. Because what you can do if you want to is you can put edge glue on this edge, like edge paint. Paint it like a fun color. So I'm just going to fold it in half like that. And then I'm going to stitch forward and back, and I'm stitching the open edge. And I'm only going to do one line of stitching on this because I think it doesn't need a second one. So that's all we're going to do. Right, so now it's adorable. So now it can go in here. It fits on. So I'm going to fold over that edge like that. Actually, I'm going to do it the other way because the nicer stitching's on top. And then I'm going to bring this up and add it under there so that we've got this 3-layer little thing here. And I'm going to stitch towards the hardware. So I'm going to stitch, back stitch, go up towards the hardware, making sure that you don't hit the metal because you'll break your needle. Because I don't have little things, but now I've got a wristlet strap and it's just got like a cute little amount of stitching, but that's strong enough. So I'm pulling on that quite hard and that's good, but it's still loose enough that it can move around a little bit. So that's my wristlet strap done. Now we're going to move on to zipper tabs, and I'm going to have to alter this because I'm using a different size thing, so we'll do that as well. So I'm going to grab this, I'm going to work out how much zipper tape I need. It is in the pattern, I just don't have the pattern in front of me right this second. So now that I've cut my zipper, I am going to use a cigarette lighter and just singe the ends. Grab my zipper pull, so this was a random one that I had in my cupboard. One side, the other side. And I'm just going to kind of put it in the middle. So then we're going to take these zipper tabs and they're going to go over. I'm going to do it this way. So more double-sided tape. I'm just going to put it to, I'm going to put 2 lines actually. I'm going to do one at the top and the bottom. That's just really going to hold this in place so it doesn't shift. You could just do one the other direction, but I think this is going to work better for me. 1 and 2. Alright, so we're going to take the zipper tab and we're going to peel off the backings and put them straight in the bin so that I don't have a mess. And then I'm going to fold it over and put it on the edge of the zipper like so. Squish it together, and then I'm going to cut off that little bit of excess before I stitch it so I don't accidentally stitch further than I need to. And because I've used so much zipper tape, that is holding on perfectly and not moving. So I'm going to go in, forward, back, lock it in, over the zipper. Make sure you only stitch over nylon zipper tape. If you stitch over the other ones, you'll snap your needle. Beautiful little edge. Now we're going to do the same to this end. One and two. We're going to fold it. So I'm just going to hold it in half like that. Slide the zipper in like so. Line it up at one edge. Like that. And then cut off the excess. Like that. And there's the next one. So we're going to stitch it again the same way. So I'm going to start in. I'm going to stitch, back stitch. Over we go. And back stitch. You won't see the ends, but we just want to make sure it doesn't come undone. So that's why I'm doing it that way. So like that. Now we're going to take our lining, of which I've gone with pink. It is a waterproof lining. So we're going to grab this. I'm going to take some Wonder Clips because I love Wonder Clips. We're going to line it up along the short edge. We're going to use clips for this. You could also use double-sided tape. I know some people love to do that. It's definitely an option for you. I'm going to use clips though. Like that. And then, so it's going this way. So I already know this is going to be the back. So we're going to take our butt piece. So mine's closing to the left, and I'm going to take the butt piece and then add that in. And it does go a little bit past, so you just have to center it up. Add it into all your clips, like so. And then I'm going to go to a joining stitch length, which for me is 2.5. Most computerized machines automatically go to 2.4 or 2.6. We're going to stitch and back stitch, but I'm stitching up along this edge. Now I'm close to the zipper, so I'm going to zip it forward out of my way so that I get a nice straight stitch like so. And I'm just stitching to the edge of the zipper, not the edge of the fabric. Pull that out, snip it off. I'm going to crease that. Then I'm going to fold this one down to join it. Then I'm going to top stitch them both down. All the way from the edge. So I'm going to go back up to my 3 3/4 stitch. Again, you could do all the way to 4 if you wanted to. I just like to do different weird stuff. It makes me happy. And I'm stitching all the way across and back stitching right where our other stitches will start when we join them together. So now you've got that and that. So now I'm going to bring this other side up and again add it into clips. If you've ever made my wench wallet, it's the same process here. Kind of. It's making me think of wench wallet anyway. Add it all in like that. And then we're going to stitch this one. So I'm going to go back to 2.5. Stitch, back stitch, over we go. Stitch, back stitch. Trim off the tails. And this one, I'm only going to be able to do the one. Because it's joined here, I won't be able to top stitch the inside. Not that that matters. If you really wanted to top stitch the inside, you would cut it along the bottom. But it'll be fine. stitch along there, back stitch. I'm really liking all the rainbow with this. This is really cute. So now I just need to join these sides. So I'm going to fold this zipper tab towards the outside, because when we make the bag, it's going to sit up like this. So that's the way we want to fold it, like so. And then that's where my crease is. I'm now going to stitch up the side. So stitch, back stitch, and then work up towards the zipper. Trim off the tails. Then I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So again, I'm going to push the zipper outwards like this to line everything up, crease it, pinch it, put it under the needle, stitch, back stitch, up we go, and then back stitch when you get there, and trim off the tails. So now we've got this. So all I'm going to do now is fold this down, and see from the front the zip's going to close to the left. I did think that one through this time. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a handful of clips, and I'm going to start at the zipper points like that. There's also a tail there that's annoying me. Chop that off. Then we can just work our way around the edge. I also want to line up this center point, so I'm going to put a clip there. Line it all up. I will need to do a little bit of trimming because they're not perfectly lined up, but that's okay. You want to use lots of clips. You could also double-sided tape them together if you really wanted to, or glue them and come back later. That's enough for me. So I'm going to go up to my 3 3/4 stitch length, and then we're going to stitch all the way around. I'm going to rivet my connector onto the outside. If you wanted to put yours into the seam, you would do it now, just as a thought for you. But yeah, I'm going to put that in there. So I'm going to start up here. Now, if this is still too bulky, something that you can do is take your leather working pliers and squish the zip. It does work surprisingly well to flatten it out enough so you can get closer to it. So I use 2 hands at the end and just kind of squish it down. And it makes it sit, so you can see the difference. This one's flatter than this one because I've squished this one and I haven't squished this one yet. So it is just something that's going to help. So I'm going to squish it. And that's already sitting up more. See how it now sits up more? I don't know, each their own, but I think it works out great. So I'm going to start in the old stitches. So I'm going to stitch forward and back, and then back through that first hole. And now I'm going to top stitch 1/8 of an inch around the edge. Now this is 4 layers of vinyl, so keep that in mind when you're doing your bag. You may need, if you're on a domestic, you might want either a walking foot or a Teflon foot, and a nice strong needle that can handle the layers. And then backstitch. And then pull the tails. So I have rainbow thread in the top and the bottom so that you can see it everywhere. And now I'm just going to take these scissors and I'm just going to fix any curvy issues, because some of them didn't match up perfectly, and by trimming this is just going to fix that problem. And it's like a tiny little bit, and if you're a beginner sewer you could leave it, but I refuse to leave it because I can fix it. I just want my edges to be super smooth. So if you've got a cutting machine for these curves, I would highly recommend cutting it on your cutting machine. which one day I will do in a video for you all. That's better. So the curves are just a little bit better curvy now. So that's the front and the back. Because of the zipper that I've chosen, I could quite easily just attach that on there like that, and off I go. That is a very successful little zipper bag. But if you wanted to add this one, this is actually too wide for this. I actually think I want to leave it like that. But what you could do with this, if you were to do it this way, you would fold both of these sides into the center. And then and you know what, I'm going to fold it over again. So I'll do it, I'm just not going to attach it because I really like the way that I've done that. So that could be finished. But if you were doing it according to the pattern, I'll just show you the next steps. And it's also a little way to save some hardware. So you're saving one D-ring and a rivet. So if you're conscious about the price of stuff and you're trying to make like a fun, cheaper pouch, this might be the way to do it. So if you've used a 1-inch D-ring, you would just fold it in the center like that. Because I'm using the 5/8, I'm actually going to fold it in half again and then stitch it down. And so then that will hold my D-ring. So I'm now going to stitch the open edge first and back stitch, and I could leave it there, or if you wanted to, you could do a second line on the other side. Pop this into there like that, and then on the same side that the zipper closes, you would put this over like this and then add a rivet in and rivet all the layers together. So it would be like that. And then this would clip to there and it would hang on the angle. That is still cute. There's nothing wrong with that. I would also possibly make this a little bit shorter. So from the front, it would just hang over about that much, like that. So I would rivet it there and it could hang out the side and then you'd hang it that way. But if you use a zip that's got the hole, you could do it with chunkies or tectonics or big loves that I sell, or just anything with a hole like this random one that I had. And then you can just hang it like that. And it's done. So that's a really cute, quick pouch. This would be great for your feminine hygiene products, or if you go to the beach, you could put you could probably stuff your bikinis into here and it would literally be a bikini holder for when you go out places. But super cute. So there you go, guys. I hope if you do decide to make this, please show me in my Facebook group because I'd love to see all the different patterns that you choose. All right, till next time, guys. Bye.